The Mandalorian Adventures is a cooperative game of daring missions. To begin, read the top card of the guide deck, following instructions until told to stop. This will tell you to set up Mission 1. All players work together as a team to complete each mission's unique objective. Each mission has a map and a briefing which lists how to win the game and special rules. Place the common decks and tokens as shown, including the planning deck, event deck, damage tokens, disrupt tokens, and reference cards. Shuffle the 5 gray disrupt tokens. Place one face-up on each action at the bottom of the map. Then, shuffle the remaining token face down into the pile of disrupt tokens. Find Mission 1's threat tokens and separate them by shape. The orange pentagon tokens are used as reinforcements, but the rest are placed on the map in the spaces with matching icons. On the map, spaces with the question mark indicate a matching token should be placed there face down. If the icon does not have a question mark, place a token face up in the space. Each player selects a character from the mission brief, placing their character card on its novice side. If playing with more players than listed here, use sandbox mode to add any characters of your choice. Solo rules can be found on page 13 of the rulebook. Place your character card and skill deck in front of you and your standee on the start space. Each player draws 4 skill cards. Then, they collectively decide who will take the first turn. On your turn, you must perform 2 actions, one at a time. To perform your first action, select a card from your hand and play it to any action slot. The card's strength number tells you how powerful the action is. For example, playing a 4 on the move action lets your character move up to 4 spaces. Entering a space containing an enemy or face-down token ends movement. You cannot move through elevation, locked doors, or forbidden areas. Likewise, playing a 2 on the attack action lets you deal 2 damage to an enemy in your space or adjacent to you. If that card has a text ability matching the action slot, you may use that ability in addition to the normal action, either before or after. If it doesn't match the slot, do not resolve the card's ability, but still perform the action as normal. If an enemy has damage equal to its health, remove it from the map. After you perform your second action, begin your event step. Do this by checking the total value of each action slot. For each slot with a value of 6 or more, resolve the mission's crisis, followed by an event card. Each event card instructs you to activate enemies or other game effects. This event will first move 2 blaster enemies 1 space each. The active player picks which enemy activates when there is more than one of the listed class on the board. Choose wisely. Enemies out of range cannot attack. The bottom of the event card makes 2 blaster enemies attack a character within range 2. When enemies attack, the current player must choose an enemy within the listed range of any character, breaking ties if necessary. Enemy attacks always deal 1 damage. If a character suffers damage equal to their health value, all players lose the game. After resolving an event card, discard all cards and tokens from the corresponding action slot. If an action slot has a value of exactly 5, resolve an event card only. You've avoided the crisis. Some event cards place reinforcements on the map. Simply draw a reinforcement token and place it face up in the space indicated. If an action slot has not reached a total of 5 or more, no event is resolved for that slot, and the cards and tokens remain there until it reaches 5 or more on the future turn. If all slots have less than 5 strength after your action step, you won't resolve any events during your turn and enemies will not activate. After your event step, refill your hand to 4 cards. Your turn is over. the next player, clockwise, begins their turn. There are two other actions that you need to understand to play the game. The intel action allows you to secretly look at face-down threat tokens to determine whether they are enemies or beneficial features. Tokens do not interfere when counting range. For example, if you play a 4 on intel, you can look at a token up to 4 spaces away. Feature tokens found in Mission 1 include a med pack, which heals 1 damage, and the door controls, which you'll need to find to complete your mission. If you are in a feature token space during your action step, you can discard it to use it. This does not count as an action. If you don't wish to look at a face-down token, you can instead use the intel action to move an enemy 1 space. This is a great way to avoid enemy abilities like Sentry. Enemy abilities appear as icons on some enemies, and their effects are summarized on your reference card. The final action is Plan. This allows you to draw cards from the planning deck equal to your skill card strength. Some skill cards have a boost icon. When you play it on an action matching its type, increase its strength by 1. For example, this card has 1 strength, but the boost allows for a second card to be drawn. You may keep 1 planning card and place another back on top of the deck. Discard the rest. You are limited to 1 of each type of planning card. Then, IG-11 resolves their event step. Continue taking turns until you have won or lost the game. If you have any questions during the game, use the quick reference on the back of the rulebook. Plan carefully, work together, and best of luck in your adventures.